which is the most important thing, like what we currently need all over the world. So having said this, to begin with the session, how many of you would like to be successful in your life? I mean, you can raise hands, you can press that raise hands button. How many of you want to understand others, and most importantly, the others, you can be on mute. Mangala, Suresh, Darpur, kindly put yourselves on mute. Okay, because this is for the benefit of all the others as well. Okay, how many of you many a times feel that you are not being understood by others? You can raise your hands. Okay, ma'am, and how many participants are there in today's session?
Madam, 100 plus participants are there. Few are joining.
Great. Okay. Right. Let them join. Okay. So many a times we human beings have a challenge in, understanding others. And many a times we also have this feeling of not being understood by others. And there are so many problems in our workplace, in our at home, in our personal circle amongst friends and others, neighbors or relatives or whoever it is. And we end up having very good friends who are very close to us suddenly become strangers, and strangers suddenly will be able to connect with them on a higher level. All this happens in our life. And having said this is a universal problem. This is not the problem of one particular region or geographical area. This is a universal issue where people try to have good relationships not only with others, even with their own selves. Okay, and we do have challenges. However educated or uneducated we are, however rich or poor we are, however we belong to a conventional or a contemporary family, we have these issues coming up then and there. And I too had similar experiences when I was a full-time professor. That was until 2011. And to share a small story before I go plunge into the session, I too had a lot of emotional dramas and traumas going on inside me. With my parents, with my colleagues, with my own children as well. They were tiny thoughts then. They were in their school and tiny dots, and the entire workload stress, the stress and the politics that happens to me in the workplace, I'll not be able to go through those emotions. It'll be overwhelming for me. So as soon as I come home, when they don't eat or when they don't do their homework or when they don't get good marks in their studies, I used to be very harsh with them, scold them, yell at them, shout at them early in the morning for not getting up or getting ready to school on time. So I was a normal person going through all those emotional traumas and dramas at home every day. And that's when something major happened in my life where it was a simple emotional issue with my close set of friends, and I was totally broken down. And I had huge stress at workplaces too. So that's when I, as a person, went into deep depression. Deep depression in the sense that I quit my job, I quit my full-time teaching job. And for 6 months, I was going for therapy and I was taking medicines from a psychiatrist. Okay, and those medicines made me sleep all the day. For 6 months in a row, I didn't take care of my kids, I didn't take care of my family, I was not cooking, I was not teaching them. This was in 2011-12. And that's when, I was so confused as to what I'm going to do the rest of my life and how am I going to bring up both my daughters. And I was, of course, taking medicines, taking therapy. Nothing of it worked as much as I wanted. And that's when one of my friend, who she was going for a workshop, not a workshop actually, it was a program, a 6 days NLP program. And I knew what NLP was, just the name of it. And I'm not very good in conversational Hindi. I can understand, I watch movies, but I won't be able to talk much. So rather, I'll reduce my speed and put it in this very simple English so that everybody understands. And friends, please, if you don't understand, kindly, towards the end of the session, last 15 minutes, I'll answer all your queries. Whatever queries you have, I'll even give you my number, you can contact me and we can chat later. So what happened was, when I was going through this depression, I was under medication and I was sleeping all the day, putting on weight, not doing anything, not stepping out of the house, not taking care of my children. That's when my friend took me to a NLP workshop. Being academician, we are very much focused on learning new things and, upgrading our resume. And that's exactly was the intention of attending this workshop. I wanted one more credential to be added to my resume. So I went there. It was a very expensive program then itself. I paid close to 1 lakh. And all was good. The person who was teaching, my mentor, Mr. Antono, and Mr. Antono, he was telling like NLP does magics. You can make a person quit smoking. You can make somebody get rid of their phobias. You can make somebody, have very good relationship, not only with others, with themselves as well. We can learn new language. We can quit all old behavior. All our negative patterns can be taken off just like that within 45 minutes. And it all looked like drama to me. Okay, and I was like looking at my friend and saying, as such, I'm not feeling well, and you make me go through this program, meet XYZ strangers, and pay such a huge amount. And what this guy is showing all kind of magic on stage. He says he can touch somebody and instantly give relief. He can talk to somebody, which is called as conversational programming, and immediately that person will be out of the particular thing which has been haunting them since their birth, since their childhood. And I didn't believe any of this. And as I told you, I too had a baggage with my own, for which I was going for treatment and all. So there was a demo session on the second day. On the second day, I was still under depression. I was still taking medicine. Still, I was like obsessed with those thoughts which haunted me. It was like obsessive compulsive disorder, where I used to look at the photo of the people like whom I was involved in a trauma with, and I used to like go through those memories once again, think about it all the time. And that's when one stranger from Mumbai, he came and sat in front of me in that demo workshop. Okay, third day it was like second day. It was the end of the program. Like so, the second day, I mean, we were all made to practice what we learned. This guy came and sat in front of me, and I had no trust or belief in any of these whatever I was taught, because it was beyond our understanding, beyond our hope or the trust. And then finally, then I told him, like, I didn't tell him like what happened, with whom I fought, what exactly happened, what kind of relationship I have with those people. Nothing of it. I said particular thing is haunting me all the time, for which I'm taking treatment, for which I'm into depression. And I told him just the outline of the case, not mentioning anything about what happened or who was involved in it. And this person, he didn't even touch me. He was sitting across the table, and he spoke to me for 45 minutes in a particular programming way. And I felt good. That is all. So we all said goodbye that day and we went home. We had a very good sleep that day. And the next day morning, I came and I was sitting in the session the third day. And at evening 4 o'clock, something struck me, to my surprise, very hard. Like not one single thought of whatever that was disturbing me so far was up that day. I used to like, I was in an OCD compulsive disorder, where I used to take the phone and, keep looking at their display picture, go through all those previous chats where we fought with each other. It's a set of friends, okay? And I used to manipulate or like think myself in a very bad way, and I used to beat myself very hard. None of those thoughts surfaced that day. It was crystal clear. And after ages, I was feeling so good. And those people whose thoughts, haunted me all the time, looked like strangers. I was no more affected by them. It was a complete revamp of all the emotion, and it was Pushpa 2.0 that day. That particular day, I understood, oh my God, this is something really, really great. If a person can just talk to me sitting across the table without even touching me, just for 45 minutes, and if he can give me a rebirth, if he can like literally save me from whatever was haunting me in spite of the medicines which didn't save me, I just was wondered. I was happy beyond imagination, and I really wanted to explore what it is. And that's how my NLP journey started way back in 2012. Okay. So until then, I had some 4 degrees. I had my MA in public administration. I had my MBA in human resource management. I had my MPhil in human resource management and MSc in psychology. And then I also was preparing for my doctorate in human resource management. That day, you will not believe, okay, I put aside everything. And I wanted to learn NLP and just help others the way I was being helped. I was being saved. None of these degrees, saved me, but one single session with the NLP saved my life. And I really wanted to give it a try. And that's when my NLP started. And then I did all my courses, like basic courses, advanced courses, courses on hypnosis from various schools of thoughts. And since then, luckily, by God's grace, being a God's instrument, I was able to change people permanently on the positive side, on the resourceful side. So this is a heads up about what NLP can do to people. NLP, as the word says, I would like to go on to a presentation so that you'll be able to understand better. So I'm going to share the screen now, and then I'll continue with my whatever I'm doing. Are you able to see the screen
Not yet, ma'am.
now?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Not visible.
Ma'am,
Not
kindly
visible.
share entire screen.
Yeah, I did that. I did that. 1 minute. I'll try once again. Give me a second.
Yes.
Now? Now it's visible, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So do you all see a yellow screen in which neurolinguistic programming is mentioned?
No, ma'am.
And you see the picture
Yes,
of
ma'am.
the
Yes.
brain? You're
Yes.
not
Yes,
able to
ma'am.
see, or
Yes,
because
it is
half of you are
visible.
saying yes and some. All right, very good. So this is a brain science actually. It is also called as a psychotherapeutic intervention. So as like how we have ailments in the body, where for a particular simple headache, we just consume a capsule or a tablet, and then we immediately get relief because it's working on us. And similarly, for a much more bigger ailment, like we need a surgery, and then we get complete relief in due course of time. NLP also intervenes as a doctor here, as a therapy. Okay, therefore it is called a psychotherapy because it is working on your mind. So as we see here, we have three words here. Neuro linguistic programming, the short form is NLP. Like neuro relates to your brain or the mind. Okay, all along, people, whenever we talk about mind, we say like I'm hurt, or my mind is working on it, or we when we connect to emotions and feelings, we put our hands to our chest and say, I'm hurt, like you hurt me, like my feelings are hurt. And so whenever we say this, our hands automatically go to our chest area. Okay, assuming like though you say like I'm hurt, like it's all connected to the mind, you think it's all connected to your towards your heart, but wherein the mind and the emotions and your feelings and all those things that you undergo, it's all related to your brain. And here the word neuro relates to your brain, and linguistic relates to language. And this language is not the particular language that we speak or our native language or the regional language like Hindi, Marathi, Malayalam, Telugu, Tamil or English or German or French or whatever. It does not relate to any of these verbal languages that we speak. It relates to the language of each individual's brain. So can you believe me? At this point, there are 100 people sitting in here and all of your languages are different. Though you can all, like 20 of you all can come from Delhi and 20 of you all can speak the common mother tongue native language of Hindi, but still for this example of 20, all your brain languages are different and therefore you have differences in understanding. You feel not understood or you're not able to understand the others because the language that your brain understands is totally different, and it's very simple as well. Now in the next couple upcoming slides we are going to see what your particular language is. And moving on to this abbreviation, programming. Programming relates to the outcome that we want. It is not that the word we use in the computer science languages like programming, it is not that. Here in this context, NLP programming relates to the desired outcome that we want from our life or as a person as such. So from our life, in the sense, assuming that I have got anger issues, I'm not able to control my anger or manage my anger in a better way. I'm poor in my anger management or emotions management or maybe delivery, like I'm scared of things, I've got phobia or something like that. All that relates to your life changes. And when we work on that, and when we bring the particular positive result that you want for the challenge that you have got, it is about your life. And as a person, if you feel inferior all the time, you've got all these negative thoughts coming up in your mind. And when you do something, there is so much of fear energy into that, because you think you're not worth it, or because you think you cannot do it, because you think whatever you do will not be appreciated. However, you project yourself will not be received properly. Then it's the internal state of mind that we have got to work on. So in NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming, which is a brain science and a psychotherapy, we have a set of strategies, tools, and techniques which we call therapies. So there are like hundreds of therapies. If a person is affected with phobia, it could be fear of water or fear of heights or fear of darkness, fear of ghosts, aversion towards lizards or any reptiles, snakes or something like that. We have a separate therapy for that. And if a person wants to learn a new language, do something new, wake up in the morning, which is not able to, get rid of a particular habit, which is not able to, like bedwetting or nail biting, or it could be procrastination, like going to postponing everything that we have got to do and doing it hurry burry in the last minute. And therefore, whatever output that we get out of the job is not good. Or it could be like as simple as, getting forgetting or getting relief from something which is haunting you from the past. It could be childhood memory, which you may know, or you will not even know, like what is haunting you or what is stopping you, some childhood trauma, and therefore you'll be behaving in a particular way. So I'll give you examples of my clients about all these things in the upcoming sessions. So neuro relates to your state of mind, the way you think, involving 5 sense organs. I want you all to make a small note of those 5 sense organs. Moving on, language relates to your language of your mind and body as well. Verbal and non-verbal behavior that you exhibit to others. And programming is sequencing actions to achieve goals through changing your habits and thoughts and upgrading yourselves mentally so that you'll be able to perform better. This slide also relates to the same. And now a small info on the founders of NLP. NLP was found in the 1970s in the US by 2 people, Richard Bandler and John Grinder. Okay, and they wanted to help the humanity. They were doing a lot of research in a lot of areas, and they traveled across the world and they studied different modalities of how people were being helped by psychologists. They found, a person called Milton using conversational programming just to talk to people and make them, change their thoughts completely. Okay, they will not believe what they believed earlier, and they'll start believing what they need to believe in themselves and others. And there was another therapy called gesture therapy, where everything was drama. You make people enact and they understand a lot, which they wouldn't have otherwise. And there are so many other therapies followed in Germany and the US and in Africa and in the Eastern countries and the Western countries. And then they worked on all of these and came up with this neuro-linguistic programming, where the key principle is whenever there is something bothering your body, when there is a change in the mind, this changes. For example, when you're really stressed at work, you will develop neck pain, you will develop back pain, you will develop diabetes, stress-induced diabetes, you will develop high cholesterol or high BP, all of this because of the stress that is in your mind. And here, your mind is affecting your body. And on the other side, for example, if a person, goes through an accident, falls victim for an accident, and then he is bedridden for 3 months, physically, he is not able to move, he is not feeling good, and therefore his mind is stressed. And this is a vicious circle wherein the mind affects the body and the body affects the mind. So what do we do when we are having a headache? Okay, the simple relief would be like, people in between, you can unmute yourselves and you can answer my questions.
Ma'am,
So
good
when
morning,
we
ma'am.
have a headache,
Ma'am, good morning, ma'am.
good.
Is the
Good
term
morning.
brain,
You take a headache pill.
is the term brain and the mind are the same, ma'am?
Brain and the mind, yes, they are the same. Okay. So people who are talking, so you can keep yourselves unmuted and you can answer my questions. Please note down all your queries in a bit of paper and have it next to you. From 12:15 to 12:30, I'll keep the session open for questions and we can discuss all the question and answers there. All right. So moving on here, when you have a headache, like immediately you step out of the house, you feel better. Okay, when there is a change in the body, what happens? You go get some fresh air, drink a hot chai. What happens? Like immediately your headache comes down. So when there is a change in the environment around us, there is a change in the body as well. And similarly, like when you're not feeling good, immediately your friends come and they take you out for a movie, or you sit and chat outside somewhere. And immediately that external change again brings in a internal change. And based on this, that the mind affects the body and the body affects the mind, came this concept, wonderful psychotherapy of NLP, wherein amazing changes have been made. So far in my last 10, 15 years of my career, like since 2011 in NLP, like I have made changes in people's life permanently on bigger areas like their profession, their stress, their family, and their health on for more than 500 people. Like. So I have an NLP center here, kind of a clinic, but though I'm not a practicing doctor, this is all about psychotherapy. I have two counseling centers actually. One here, both of them are in Chennai, and one here in Ananagar and one in Ambattur. So when they come there, I sit and talk to them for an hour or so to find out what exactly is the cause of their problem, like for the challenge, for the kind of unresourceful state that they are undergoing, and then we do the therapy accordingly. Okay, so I'm going to talk about therapies as well in the upcoming slides. So you see a slide here where a little bit of the blue area is your conscious mind, and the majority of the rest of the area is your unconscious or the subconscious mind. So our mind, as somebody asked here, like is the brain and the mind same? Yes, exactly. The brain is in charge for all your thinking, planning, conversing, programming, and other all the activities. Various parts of the brain are like, are responsible in charge of all those activities. And when when that particular part of the brain is affected, we lose that particular activity like thinking or seeing or hearing or talking. So all the five sense organs are directly connected to the brain, and that's how you get the input from the external environment. So once you get the input from the external environment, and then you start processing in your mind, and then your behavior, the output is how you perform or behave, or the words that you let go of it. Right? It differs from person to person, individual to individual, case to case, scenario to scenario. The same person, he could be different in the morning and different in the evening due to the number of things that is impacting him. This is just like an example on a layman's language I'm talking. Like, imagine your childhood traumas, your parents, the way in which you were brought up, the school you studied, then the kind of friends you have in life, the atmosphere, the family that you come from, the personal values, the decisions that you made earlier. All those is the value systems that you have, the value systems that you were taught by your parents. All of this as a bundle on the whole is going to affect your mind or the brain, the way you think using the brain. So when you behave in a particular way, first comes your all these values that you learned since childhood. And my dear friends, this is going to be different from person to person, area to area, I mean the geographical area, country to country. Okay, and it could differ from one segment north to south or east and west. So it's going to be different for all of us. And that is the reason we all think differently. Okay, we get the input from the external environment through our five sense organs, and then we process it. This processing is the important part, because this processing machine is different for each one of us, and therefore the outcome is also different. You see this slide here, the tip of the iceberg. This is a common slide that we have watched n number of times in our life. So for many examples, we use this particular thing. The small tip of the iceberg is your behavior external, is your behavior, the way you talk, the way you understand people, the way you relate to other people, be at home or at office, or in your college, or in the road, with your neighbors, with your relatives, with your friends in the department. And that only the tip of the iceberg is seen. For somebody, for example, who's very like short tempered. Okay, people, we are generally scared. We don't go and approach that person because he's short tempered, he yells all the time, he's very angry, grumpy all the time. That could be the tip that is shown outside. So, what makes him grumpy all the time? What makes him angry all the time? What makes him being short tempered? That is the majority, 90% of the iceberg lying beneath in his subconscious. And friends, trust me, anger is just a mask of fear. This is something new, isn't it? All along we knew like people angry, they tend to talk anything they want, okay, without any fear. And that's what our idea was about people who are angry. But then I learned in psychology that anger is just a mask to protect themselves from others not hurting them. People who are very scared, immediately what the only mask that they can use, the shield that they can use to protect themselves, they're not able to fight, they're not able to make others understand, they're not confident enough to make others understand them, and therefore they use the shield of anger, of being aloof, not able to mingle with others, because to shield themselves from being abused by others. And this is how my mind works. People who don't talk to others, the 90% we do not know what happened in their life since their childhood. And our mind is so simple that here in India, we have this habit of, parents, as elders, we keep talking to children in a very playful way, saying that, hey, you're not fit for anything. Okay, you will not be able to do these things. Only elders can do it. Your brother can do it. You cannot do it. Your sister, look at your sister, how good she is. Please learn from her. Be as good as her. All good children will not do all of these. Okay, where are you going to study? You'll not even complete the semester with the kind of input that you give. All these words which we say in a lighter note on an everyday basis to children around us, be it students or at home to our own sons and daughters, their unconscious starts believing without any doubt immediately. Please park your questions towards the end of the session. You can write it in a paper and you can put it in the chat later. So when I say this, I had a lot of inhibitions as a child. Kindly mute yourself. So I had a lot of fear. Okay, I was being raised by very strict parents who hailed from villages. Okay, they were doing it out of ignorance. But for me, when I was a small child, my brain, my subconscious believed, trusted without any doubt each and every word said by others to me. And we keep saying this to others without knowing the impact. The subconscious, especially younger days, it trusts everything, and therefore it would have formed an opinion. No, how much ever good you are, or how much ever beautifully you're going to say this, do this, get this degree, present yourselves like this, do this work, it is you're not good, you're not worth it, you're worthless, you will not be able to do it. And that's how our mind is fixed. And therefore, we develop complexes like feeling inferior in front of others, not being able to converse like others. Always we put ourselves down and lift all others up. We become people pleasers. Okay, we become people pleasers because we think we are not good. And none of us, almost none of us, only the very few gifted segment percentage of our society, give priority to their own self. We all give priority to all others, to our parents, to our spouse, to our children. We put forth all their interests. We work for them. We make them happy. We please them. And finally, your poor soul, you don't give yourselves a priority at all. You keep bending, adjusting all the time until we are hurt to the core. And one fine day, you erupt as a volcano. Okay, you do not know why you are angry. You do not know why you're sad. You do not know why you're depressed. And the others also don't understand. The others will think, so far he was so good until yesterday. Suddenly, I don't know what happened to him. So they'll term you as a good person until you please them, until everything works their own way. And the moment you start defending for yourself, or you want to live for yourself, you become the villain there. You become the bad person there, because it's not their fault. It's you who has trained them like that, isn't it? So all along you have been putting somebody as the first option or the priority. So you were a good person. And one fine day you want to live, you want to like please your own simple subconscious mind. And then you become a villain because that's the way we have trained others. So having this in our mind, NLP is a beautiful science. It's a brain science actually, which can give you relief working on those areas which need to be improved. It could be any area. It could be your profession where you want to really escalate. Like, I mean, get yourselves to a higher position, but something is stopping you. And when you are not aware of what is stopping you, it could be something from the past which you're not even aware of it. Okay, there we can use NLP to increase. I'm just starting in the clockwise direction. We use this for all employees to increase their performance in whichever area, not only in sales, though I have put it as sales here. We can improve their performance in whatever area they want to. Mostly we use this for students as well, especially during the 10th and the 12th examination when they are brought to our center. We work on them. Specific therapies only for students to make them do much more better in their studies and to get good marks or enroll them to into whatever courses they want. And when they're really unable to memorize, grasp things or reproduce it in the examination hall, panic, okay, nervousness, breaking down in the examination hall, everything can be uprooted by those therapies. Okay, apart from employees, student segment also can be benefited from this. Relief from phobias and fears. As I mentioned earlier, any phobia, anything that has been haunting you from the past, a particular person or incident or something, some behavior, when you see something, you're immediately like shrunk inside. All those fear and phobias can be uprooted, including claustrophobia and other things. De-addiction. Okay, so far, by God's grace, I have been able to completely make people quit smoking and alcohol. De-addictions, we have particular therapies where when we make them go through the therapy, something in them changes. The unconscious or the subconscious finds alternatives for that particular positive intention of smoking. So if it is stress that makes a person, smoke or drink, and when we all of a sudden make the person not smoke or not drink, what happens to the pent up stress inside? It's going to erupt as physical diseases, which is not good. Maybe he'll get a heart attack suddenly because the coping mechanism was cut. In such cases, what happens is we'll be very careful enough to make the unconscious or the mind inside or, like find alternatives, okay, to cope up that particular stress or something which is bothering him. And then only we are going to uproot this particular smoking habit or alcohol. Relief from anxiety and depression. So many a times, 90% of my clients will not know why they are depressed, will not know what is bothering them, will not know why they are unhappy. Many a times. And we are going to work on them using all these therapies. We are going to put them on a timeline therapy where we'll be working in backwards right from the day they meet me and find in their life which is making them feel bad or like he has developed some negative habits because of that. All of this we are going to address through those therapies. Relief from past bad memories and negative thoughts, increase the potential of students. We have discussed this earlier. Generate more focus and concentration, develop and enhance new skills and also the existing skills like dance or like painting or singing. All these people come to us to enhance themselves better in a particular area where they are expert at, and we are going to make them even more good when they go for competitions, sports people especially. Increase employee performance and potential, relief from unwanted habits and the medical issues as well. So all of these areas and much more, we can apply NLP and give them relief. So now an interesting activity. Okay. So all our brain, we have four hemispheres, like the northern, the frontal and the one behind. And again, that is divided. Okay, so left brain and the right brain. We are going to consider only two right now. One is the left brain and one is the right brain. Okay, and can you all draw the picture of a dog right in front of you in a paper? A rough sketch of dog. I'm going to give you a minute. A face, a body, 4 legs, and a tail will do. I'm sure you'll be having a piece of paper and a pen in front of you. Can you please draw? And once you are done, just let me know. Say the word done by unmuting yourself.
किती गोळ्या घेऊन झालं म्हणजे नाही कॅल्शियमचे दुपारी घेऊ शकते मी आणि या नंतर काय दुखतं पण तो घेतली नाही काही
Is it? Have you finished?
Friends, have you done?
Sorry?
You just
Hello?
have to draw the sketch of dog.
Dog.
A dog.
Dog. D-O-G, dog.
Yes.
Okay.
Not exactly जैसे आप लोग ड्रॉ कर पाएंगे वैसा करिए. Exactly नहीं आएगा तो भी चलेगा.
Oh, actually,
Yeah, yeah.
I
Just a
have
face.
done it, but it doesn't look like a dog.
Yeah. Face, body, a tail, and 4 legs. That is enough.
Okay. It's done.
Great. So I think all of you would have finished by now, isn't it?
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
I should have just done this out. So which side is your dog picture facing? To the right or to the left?
Left.
Left.
Lower one. Left.
Left. And to the right?
Left.
How many to the right?
Yes, ma'am, right side.
Right. Yeah. See, some of you it is on the right and some of you it is on the left. The face of the dog is facing to the left for some of you and to the right for some of you. Okay, now you can mute yourself, all of you. I'll brief about this. So for people whose dog is facing the, right side, your left side of the brain is more dominant. As I told you, our brain, if you divide them into equal halves, your right and the left. If your dog is facing to your right, okay, and that means your left side of the brain is more dominant. And if your dog is facing to the left, that means your right side of the brain is very dominant, and therefore your entire thinking pattern will be different. I have some disturbance here. Yeah, okay. And so, right brain dominant people, their behavior, their thinking pattern, the way in which they approach things, the way they execute things will be totally different from left brain people. And left brain people, they have a set of traits, characteristics, attributes entirely different from the right brain people. Okay, but both of them are equally good. There's nothing right or wrong here. Both of them are equally good, but this is for your understanding that you all think different. Okay, and I'm going to go into much more. This slide we have already discussed, and we're going to see how to adopt to a positive and powerful mindset, whichever brain you're active with, like right brain or your left brain, whichever part of it is active or dominant. In spite of it, we are going to see how we can be really successful in understanding others and how we can understand ourselves first. Now, for this, I'm going to tell you a nice story. All of us love stories, isn't it? All of us love stories. Okay. Okay. Now, it's a birthday story, actually, of 3 couples. So, you're all listening, right? So, couple A, there is a husband and wife. Couple B, there is a husband and a wife. And couple C, there is a husband and a wife. So, it is the same scenario there. It is the birthday of the wife. Okay, it's the wife's birthday, and then the husband is gifting and making the wife happy. So, case number 1. Okay, the husband doesn't have money. It's the wife's birthday. He wants to gift her something very good. He loves her very much. So he wants to really impress, make her happy by gifting something very beautiful. So what happens is he borrows money from a friend because he doesn't have any money. And then he takes the help of his colleagues, his sisters or cousin sisters, and he buys a very expensive, beautiful sari for this silk sari for this wife. And on the day of the birthday, when the wife is sleeping, he just gives that sari to his wife and wishes her happy birthday, and then he leaves to office. So as soon as his husband goes to office, the wife's best friend, she calls on the phone for wishing and greeting as always. And then she says, "Are you happy? What did your husband give you?" And then this wife says, "No, I'm not happy." And when that friend asks, like, "Why aren't you happy on your birthday?" And that's when this wife says, like, "He gifted me a very expensive silk sari today morning. When I was sleeping, he woke me up and he gave me a very expensive sari as a gift." And this wife's friend is very confused. She says, like, "Wow, such a nice gesture, such a thoughtful, kind gesture. I know your husband is broke, he doesn't have money. But in spite of it, he's made so much of effort to give you this gift and make you happy. And on saying this, and why aren't you still not happy?" And this wife says, "See, it is a silk sari. If you come to my house now, I can open the wardrobe and I show you, like, there are thousands of silk saris. Okay. And assuming this wife is also working, I can buy that sari anytime I want. And there are so many saris which my mom gave me, which my friends gave me, which my relatives gave me. Like, I bought so many saris. There are so many saris. Saris doesn't make me happy at all. Whatever it is, silk sari or a dress or a, kurta or a salwar or whatever it is, it's not going to make me happy. What makes me happy is I want him to stay with me the whole day on my birthday. I want him to talk to me. I want him to, like, hold my hands, and I want us to go to a temple or like a mall or like a relative's place, mom's place or somewhere. I wanted his presence on my birthday, not a gift, however expensive it is." Very good wife, isn't it? So all the men folk will be like, "Wow, what a wife. I want such a wife," or "I wish my wife was like this," or if she's already like this, then proud of it. So now we'll park this story aside. Okay, we'll just park this story aside and we'll move on to the second couple. Same scenario. It is the wife's birthday. The husband is gifting her, but this husband doesn't have money again. Same, just like the previous one. But this husband doesn't borrow or doesn't buy anything because he's not interested in that. So rather, he takes off for the day. Okay, and with whatever cash he's got, he wanted to take the wife to a nice lunch, and then maybe a mall, a movie, and then to the beach or somewhere, whatever is there in that place. And then early in the morning when the wife is sleeping, he wakes her up, gives her sweets and flowers and wishes her happy birthday. And then he says, "Darling, today I've taken the day off. I didn't have money enough to buy you expensive gifts or silk sari, but I'm going to stay with you. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to, spend time with you." And for which the wife is very unhappy. She says, like, "I don't want any of those. Please kindly don't waste one day leave. Kindly go to office." And so this husband doesn't know how to react. He is like disappointed. She says, "I don't want any of whatever you said. You just leave to office and leave me alone." Okay, the husband goes to office. Same like the previous example, the wife's friend calls. She wishes her, and then she asks, like, "What did your husband give you? Are you happy? Like, how was your birthday?" The lady says, "No, I'm not happy." The friend asks, like, "Why?" Then she says, like, "Morning I wanted some nice gift from my husband, but he said, like, I'll take off from my work and I'll spend the day with you. I'll take you out somewhere for lunch and theater and mall and all," which I was not interested. Then I sent him to office, so I'm upset. Then the friend asked, like, why did you say that? You could have had a good birthday, you could have spent the day with your husband. Don't you want it? And for which the lady says, "What are we doing on all the other days? We are living together. We are husband and wife. We are together the whole of my life since I got married. He is with me every single day, and every single time when we go outside, we go together. We go to the mall, we go to the theater, we go to my mom's place, we go to the beach, we go to hotels to have lunch and dinner. So this is a regular phenomenon, going out and having food and going to the theater to watch movie and buy dresses. What is there special in it?" Okay, this is the second wife's perspective. And then she says, like, now in some time, like just how you asked what he gave me for my birthday, my mom will call me, my sister-in-law will call me, my co-sister will call me, all my friends will call me, and they're all and to all of those people, I'm going to put a long face and I'm going to say he didn't give me anything. This is an insult to me. Okay, they're going to think that I'm not even worth a gift. And this bothered this wife, and she's terribly upset. Moving on to the third example, wife's birthday, the husband has got a lot of money. He took off for the whole day. He's going to stay at home. And he says, like, darling, it's your birthday. Here is this diamond necklace, expensive one. I've taken off. I'm going to spend the whole day with you. We're going to go everywhere. I'm going to be with you and have fun. And, the wife is, as always, like, I'm happy. He says, no, I don't want the expensive gift. I don't want you to take off and be with me. Just go mind your work. And same case, the friend calls and asks, like, why she's not happy with all of those being gifted or offered to her. And this lady says, see, we live in a joint family. Okay, and my husband doesn't express his love for me in front of others. He doesn't even sit next to me. So as he said, if he's going to take me out to a mall or a temple or a movie or to anybody's house, he's not going to walk along with me. He'll be walking 10 steps ahead of me. Okay, and when we sit in the house or in the theater or in a temple or watch movie as simple as watching a movie in the house, in the hall, he's going to make his parents sit in between us or the kids sit in between us. He's not even going to touch my hand. He's not going to even make an eye contact with me, which I want the most. I want to be identified. I want to be felt. I want to be visible. I want to be heard. Okay, he doesn't even look at me. Whatever he wants, he sends word through the children. And whatever I offer him, I send it through the children because he says it's a respect for the elders in the house, which I really am not interested. I want my husband to sit next to me, immediately next to me, put his hands around my shoulders and watch movie, a simple wife's request. I want my husband to hold my hands while walking the road, while crossing or in the temple or in the beach. I want my husband to walk along with me, shoulder to shoulder, which he doesn't do, which I don't like. Okay, what is the whole point of expressing love when we both are all alone? And he doesn't give me that respect. He doesn't give me that identification of a wife in front of all the others, which I'm really not happy with. And therefore, I'm not happy with any of his gifts or he being at home or like he taking off. I'm not really happy with it. So when we go to the question of who is right or who is wrong, like you all would have like laughed so far, saying that wives cannot be pleased at all. Okay, we cannot please a lady with a gift or like spending time or with all of these. All the men folk would have got a really happy time now, and all the women like would have been thinking like, what is this lady up to? What is she going to end up saying with all these things? And here is what I'm going to say. For some of us, as I told you in one of my previous slides when we were talking about language, linguistic, neuro-linguistic programming. Linguistic is the language of the brain. And I also told you that we are like a combination, our brain is made up of 5 sense organs. Okay, and it's your visual, your auditory, your kinesthetic, your olfactory, and your gustatory. Visual brain relates, auditory brain relates to your ears, and kinesthetic brain relates to the sense of feeling of touch, and olfactory and gustatory are your nose and your mouth as well, the sense of smelling and tasting food using your tongue and your mouth. So your brain understands the external environment only through these 5 sense organs. And as I told you, for some of us, your right brain is dominative, and for some of us, your left brain is dominative. And therefore, some of us in this group will be visual brain person. That is, you can understand others only by seeing. So I will take an example now. Love from a spouse or a partner for these people is giving gifts, receiving gifts, dressing up properly and well, the way each other likes, keeping the house neat and clean, serving dishes in a beautiful bowl in a clean table. So everything has to be beautiful, or it should be visually presented to them for a brain to understand. Assuming this is a kinesthetic wife here. For her, it is the olfactory and the gustatory system that her brain is fully dependent on. For her, the smell of the food and the taste of the food matters a lot more than the beauty in which it is served, more than the table or the bowl or the plate in which it is served. So the kinesthetic wife can never understand what the visual husband is expecting. A visual husband can never understand what the kinesthetic wife is giving to him on the table. For him, why is she so clumsy? Why is she not beautifully dressed up like the neighbor or his colleague or like some other XYZ on the road or in the movie? It would be like, why is the wife not properly, beautifully dressed? Why is she not taking care of the body? Why is she not as presentable as some other person? Why is she not focusing on her beauty? Okay, she's coming and serving food with, oily hair and, not dressed up properly in a beautiful way. But she serves amazing, excellent food. So it's the visual husband versus the kinesthetic wife. Both of their brain is operating in different languages. And this is exactly what I said. We all operate from different languages, which, each of us do not understand. And there's another case here, auditory brain. Okay, auditory brain is all about words, either writing or at least listening or hearing or talking. Okay, now auditory brain wants to receive compliments. Okay, how much ever beautiful the dish is, like being served in a beautiful china bowl or like a glass bowl or whatever it is, they don't understand. And however the taste is, like, the husband like eats heartily. He completely finishes off the entire food served to him, like licks his hands. That shows like he really likes the food. That is the kinesthetic. Auditory wife cannot understand whether he liked the food or not. Okay, he has to give her a compliment saying that, yes, it was very good. The food was very tasty. I enjoyed the meal very much. You have done an amazing job. Keep it up. Congratulations. Good, wonderful, excellent. The auditory wife or the husband needs to hear words for them to understand. You get it? In the first example, when the wife said, I want him to take off, sit next to me and talk to me as a birthday gift, the wife is an auditory person, but whereas the husband is a visual guy, who thought giving a nice present, a beautiful glassy, a glossy, and, a shimmery, a silk sari, beautiful color, he thought would make the wife very happy. No. She was not happy because she was an auditory person. She wanted him to sit and talk to her, express his love to her in words. She would have been the happiest soul on earth. But who knows all these things? Not everybody in India knows about NLP. Not everybody in the whole world knows about NLP. We did not know about NLP like some time back. It's the visual husband with the auditory wife in the first example. Their brain languages were totally different. They would speak the common language, Hindi at home, but then the brain were formatted in a different manner. And in the second case, when the wife wanted the gift, she's a visual person because for her, the husband's love should be seen, should be shown to others. Okay, that's a brain language. And when the husband said, no, I want to take off, spend the day with you, take you somewhere, he's a kinesthetic husband, which the wife couldn't understand his love. Third case, wife is a kinesthetic person, feeling of sense of touched, feeling inside and outside. Either feeling loved, feeling warm, feeling, something more than that inside, and the sense of touch, just holding near hands was like ecstasy for her. The husband bought her a diamond gift. He's being a visual person. He brought her diamonds. He brought her silk saris. He brought her expensive gifted cars and bikes and whatnot. He says, I'll give you cards for you to go and swipe and enjoy life. But the wife was a kinesthetic person. She wanted the husband to sit and spend time with her, moments. Have moments with her life. Okay, which the husband couldn't understand. For him, like, I gave her 1 lakh for her birthday, but still she's having a long face and she's not happy. And the 1 lakh would have been there in the cupboard untouched because the wife didn't find happiness in that. But rather, she wanted the husband to sit next to her, chat with her, make eye contact, hold the hand, put his hands around her arms, and, chat and have fun and laugh at a silly movie. Okay, recollect all the old memories. For her, that was treasure, worth more than many crores. Okay, and therefore what happens here is their thinking patterns is extremely different, and therefore controversies come. And there is another segment, olfactory and gustatory. It comes under kinesthetic. Now, all of us, we can have this question of, see, I would like to hear and see as well. Yes, of course, you can, because we all these 5 sense organs, out of which 1 or 2 will be dominant. We can be a visual, which could be the dominant sense organ, and an auditory person. We can be a visual and a kinesthetic person. We can be an auditory dominating brain with visual also in it. We can be a kinesthetic dominated brain with auditory domination in the subtle way as well. We'll be a combination of all these things. Of course, I'm also a visual come auditory come kinesthetic person. Out of the 3, 1 will be dominating the rest of the 2. And now you understand. Okay, I'm going to move to the previous slide. You see this example, you will be able to understand really well. When you are going to buy your car, okay, how many of you will be really happy just seeing the car? You see the color of the car, you see the model, whereas a sedan or a hatchback, you see the color, you see the model, you see all the dimensions of the car, and you immediately decide on buying the car. Then you are a visual brain person. And you want a number of opinion from the others. You move around. You talk to your friends. You talk to your, people who already own cars, assuming you're buying it for the first time. And then you come to a decision to buy a car. You want people to comment and say and give their opinion, saying, yes, this is the best. And you talk to 10 people, and 5 people out of the 10 are going to vouch for a particular model, a brand, a particular edition in it, and then you go for it after listening to all those positive feedbacks, and you want the reassurance again and again and again from that sales executive. Yes, you are an auditory brain person. And the last set of segment would be the kinesthetic people, where they want to sit in the car, go for a test drive, look into the leg space, look into all the other attributes of the car, and then you decide. Of course, all of us see the car, we sit inside, go for a test drive, and then only buy. But what is the most key decision-making factor in your purchase? Is it the look of the car, or is it the comfort feel of the car, or is it people telling you, yes, this is the latest model, this is the best model, go in for it, this is the best brand, where you get spare parts or whatever easily, where you do not get that, it is expensive. And then you make your decision based on what you hear. So what would be yours? Of course, we are going to see all of this. I don't deny that. We don't just see a car and buy. We don't just hear a car and buy. We don't just sit for a test drive and buy. But what is the factor that is going to make you decide to buy that car would be the kind of person that you are, or that is your brain's language. It could be visual or auditory or kinesthetic. Now understand. So at your house, okay, in your home, you could be like visual person. Your wife could be auditory or kinesthetic. You could be a visual person. Your husband could be auditory or kinesthetic. And therefore, you will feel like, oh my God, how much ever I explain, this guy is not able to understand what I want. This lady doesn't get what I want. I want her to dress up beautifully, or at least neatly when I come back. I want her to maintain the house neatly, beautifully. Okay, but she doesn't do that. But on the other hand, that poor wife would take care of you so well. Will address all your needs from her heart. She'll not take care of her looks or the house cleanliness or beauty or whatever it is. But then she'll be most caring about you, like what you do in your life. She'll be worried for you. Like she'll cook you amazing dishes. She'll take care of your health. She'll take care of your parents. She'll take care of your children. For her, it is all feelings. Because she's a kinesthetic person. Vice versa. You want your husband to go to the gym and be a fitness model. You want him to look good. You don't want him to sit in the couch and have a belly there. But then you want all these things. The guy is not moving from the couch. Okay, he's watching movies all the day. Like he's not worried about his physique. He's not a fitness model. He's not working out. Okay, for health we have to work out. Very true. For some of look really good, take care of himself, look good, but he's not. On the other hand, he takes care very well of you. Kinesthetic husband. People around you, language. You are programmed in a different language, and you